Happy Friday, everybody! Yes, it's a beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. It's 10:30 in the morning. I know, it's not the crack of dawn. Okay, I know I'm going to do this every single day, right? I'm going to ask you for forgiveness due to load shedding in South Africa. And we had load shedding from 8 o'clock in the morning all the way until 10:30. So, yeah, now you have us not at the crack of dawn. Yeah? Alright, welcome to the show, everybody. You're currently streaming live with us in the Nature South on Actionable TV, baby. Alright, well, this is the crack of dawn show, as you know. And I'm your host, Kimera, Heeralal. If you want to join the conversation, you're welcome to do so by commenting at the bottom of the screen right there. Or if you want to hashtag your views and comments anonymously, you're welcome to do so on our WhatsApp line, which you'll find at the bottom right of the screen right there throughout the entire show. Alright, so as we have a brilliant lineup, as we always do every single day for you guys, opening up the show will be your Wackhead Simpson. You know, we have a bit of a prank always opening the show. And then today we're talking about gaming! Yeah, pop, 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 pop. I know all the gamers are like, woo! I know. So we're going to talk about your top horror games throughout the entire show. And not forgetting our talented people around the globe sharing their content with us, which is quite awesome. And as always, we end off the show with my personal favorite stand-up comedian, Auntie Sheila from Devon. Alright, so we got a full hour of fun together, guys. Please join the conversation. Interact with us, as interaction means the world to me. I love the support, as we are a growing channel, and it does count when you share, comment, or even a like, you know? Alright, so stay connected with us as we're streaming live, and we'll come back straight after this commercial break.
The ultimate accessory, the latest shiny thing, mesmerized. Trying to keep up, but never getting ahead in an endless cycle of spending. In this world of constant upgrades, do you want a bank that takes your money, or a bank that takes your money seriously?
Welcome back, you crack of daughters. Woo! Alright, we're still streaming live in the Nature South on Actionable TV. This is the Crack of Dawn show with myself, Kimera, Heeralal, as your host. Join the conversation, as you can interact with us by commenting at the bottom of the screen, or you can hashtag your comments and views anonymously on our WhatsApp line, which you can find at the bottom right of your screen throughout the entire show. Let's open up the show with a nice vibe with Wackhead Simpson's Senseless Survey.
Good morning, Frederick speaking. How can I help you?
Good morning, sir. I'm Agent 41936. I'm calling you from the Census Bureau. I need to ask you just a few questions for your country. It'll only take you about 30 seconds. Are you jealous of little kids because they don't have to pay rent or use deodorant?
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Have you tried to get rid of your memory foam mattress because it just knows too much?
Yeah.
When you run out of spoons, is it time to do the dishes or quit heroin?
Time to do the dishes.
Is life like a box of chocolates in that it does not last as long for fat people?
Of course.
Is Victoria's Secret a tapeworm?
Victoria's Secret doesn't have tapeworm. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Do you think at the PETA organization they have ever accidentally said in a meeting, let's kill two birds with one stone?
Yeah, they did do that.
What color is your oven mitt, or don't you wear women's clothing?
No. I don't do that.
Wow.
Why isn't a group of squids called a squad?
I don't know that.
If two single men high-five, aren't they just introducing their girlfriends?
I don't understand that one.
Sir, how do you feel about the current state of South Africa? It's a yes-no answer.
How do I feel?
Just yes or no, please.
No.
A pig's orgasm lasts 30 minutes and lions mate 50 times a day. What would you rather be, a lion or a pig?
A pig.
How does that actor say? A pig.
Boss was coming or something.
Wackhead Simpson, everybody, live on Actionable TV. all right. Let's talk about our topic of conversation today. So, for those gamers who are watching the show today, hello. Well, share your favorite games or consoles with us. You know, this show is about your horror games that some people say they won't be able to put it down. So that's what we're going to share with you today. And I've got Aiden Hansen all the way from America helping us with the show today as he's helping us to host. And, interact with us in studio today. I want to hear what's your favorite games or what's your new favorite console or your new favorite whatever it is related to gaming. Share it with us live on the show as we're talking about gaming. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue. Welcome back, guys. All right. As promised, we're talking about your horror games that you won't be able to put down, and it's also being hosted by myself, Kimera, Heeralal, and as well as Aiden. Well, Aiden Hansen, we call him from America. We're talking about horror games. Okay, join the conversation. I want to hear from you guys. Tell us. Okay, it doesn't have to only be horror games. Your favorite games, your favorite consoles, whatever it is with gaming that you like or that really fascinates you. Interact with us in studio today. Share your details. All right, so we're talking about horror games. Now, I've got a few lined up here for you guys, and we're looking at the best horror games. Now, let's start with the game called The Mortuary Assistant. Not much of a game on this one, but yeah. All right, let's get into it. So picture it, right? It's your first day of your new job at the Riverfields Mortuary, and you're going about your day as normal and happily and embalming the dearly departed on your gurney. And when you see an ominous woman in a white, dressed in full white, staring back at you from the end of the long, they call it the long corridor toward the morgue. Okay, whispering fills your ears, right, when you're standing there, and when you look back at the table, the body is gone. So this is just one of many procedurally generated moments in the Mortuary Assistant game, and it's a horror game that places a scalpel in your hand and a demon in your soul as you fight to exorcise it before you become fully possessed and stuff like that. So it's quite exciting, and anything with morgues, with dead people or zombies. Yeah. Alright, let's welcome Aiden Hansen from America. He's starting with, he's doing his top 5 as he usually does on our show. And today he's showing us his top 5 terrifying 2023 horror games that you won't be able to put down. Check this out. We're going to number 5 now. Aiden Hansen coming in number 5, ladies and gentlemen, A Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
2023 has been a great year for gaming, with big releases like Final Fantasy XVI, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and Hogwarts Legacy. There's no shortage of great titles for gamers to sink their time into. But my personal favorite genre, and I'm sure many of you share the same feelings, is horror. Horror games have long been a popular genre of video games, with standout titles such as Silent Hill, Amnesia, Resident Evil, Alien Isolation, and many more. There's never been a shortage of great games that will scare your socks off, and this year is no different. I'm Aiden, and here are the top 5 terrifying 2023 horror games you won't be able to put down. At number 5, Texas Chainsaw. As the title suggests, this game is based entirely on the Texas Chainsaw, an iconic horror movie that came out in 1974. The movie is about a deranged killer known as Leatherface who, well, goes on a massive wielding a chainsaw. The movie garnered massive success despite a small budget and quickly became one of the most well-known horror movies of all time. The film featured plenty of violence and gore and spawned a whole heap of sequels and spin-offs that are still coming out today. And of course, it also spawned an amazingly terrifying game that came out August 18th this year. The game follows a similar concept as the movie, featuring a group of survivors being chased around by Leatherface and his crazy killer family, who have a penchant for human flesh. Many of the maps in the game feature many of the iconic locations from the movie, including a new area made specifically for the game, the Family Slaughterhouse. The gameplay is deceptively simple, but very creative. It's an asymmetrical survival horror game, meaning that players play in teams of uneven sizes. 4 players play as the victims, attempting to escape, and 3 others play as the flesh-hungry family, with one of them being Leatherface himself, trying to kill the victims before they can escape. This concept of asymmetrical horror games has become a trend in multiplayer horror games since the release of Dead by Daylight in 2016, but the scale of 3 versus 4 is unique to Texas Chainsaw, making it stand out against the rest. With this large player count of 7, you can play with your friends, strangers, or even your family if you guys are into that. The victims start the game off in the basement, trapped with Leatherface. Once they escape his clutches using different tools at their disposal, they need to find an exit from the map to escape and win the game. Meanwhile, Leatherface's family will be hunting down players, impeding on their attempts at escape and trying to kill them. A neat feature is the family's grandpa, who must be fed the innards of the victims and is woken up if there's too much noise, and it will reveal the locations of every victim on the map that's moving. This makes for a fun game of cat, 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 and mouse, mouse, mouse that allows for lots of replayability and an assortment of different outcomes to each map. The game is available on all platforms but Nintendo Switch, and plenty of people are playing it right now. I'm not sponsored, but now is a great time to get the game if you're interested.
Alright, so I found this game called Returnal. Alright, and well, if you look at it, this might not seem like an obvious scary game, but there's a strong vein of cosmic horror running through everything that, well, returns, if you put it that way. So they say here, this is a strong vein of cosmic horror running through everything Returnal does. So they say this time looping a roguelike, it litters with Lovecraft, they call it Lovecraftian alien rains, wrong-shaped monsters, and a terror that comes from trying not to die every 10 minutes. And it also says that I get this, or should we say, the author says, I get that it's a big ask to try this as it is all about trying to fight through waves of monsters and impossible feeling boss fights, but there's a great atmosphere to it all, and it's a disturbing story that gradually unfolds as you piece together the past and your place in it. Coming in at number 4, The World of Horror.
Next at number 4, World of Horror. Now, this game technically is both already released and is yet to release, as it's been available to play in beta since February of 2020, but is getting an official release on PC, Switch, and PlayStation on October 19th this year. Unlike the fast-paced action of Texas Chainsaw, World of Horror is a more slow-paced role-playing game with a 1-bit pixel art style that matches well with its manga-inspired themes. The game takes place in the town of Shiokawa, Japan, where the player must investigate and explore various cursed and haunted locations, fight otherworldly creatures, and climb a hellish tower in order to stop the apocalypse. Upon opening the game, the player is immediately greeted by its two-tone art style, taking clear inspiration from the works of Junji Ito, a world-class horror mangaka known for making some of the most iconic works in horror. If you haven't read any of his work, I really recommend it. He's made some truly terrifying stuff. Off the bat, you're given the mission of exploring all sorts of different locations, which are all these self-contained horror stories, featuring terrifying monsters of all kinds. They vary from ghosts to demons to beings of pure cosmic terror that will keep players at the edge of their seats throughout each playthrough of the game. And with a massive collection of different stories and scenarios to experience, World of Horror makes for a very replayable experience, giving players hours and hours of fun and terror to have. The game has players solving assortments of puzzles, exploring haunted locations, and its main feature, turn-based combat. In many scenarios, players will have to fend off against the dark forces that inhabit Shiokawa, usually only using a trusty knife or other tools in order to go toe-to-toe with these eldritch abominations. A really memorable fight I had was in a high school against a woman with a big slit for a mouth wielding scissors. I was able to beat her with an inch of my life using nothing but a trusty baseball bat. This kind of underdog mentality keeps the game fun, rewarding, and scary as hell. If you're looking for a game you can pick up and play at any time, I'd recommend keeping an eye out for World of Horror this October.
Slender, the 8 pages. Oh my god. Okay, so it's old, right? But it's free. Firstly, this game is free, and it's a classic moment in the horror of gaming. They call it horror gaming. Now, while you can no longer play it online, as they say, it's easy to find a free download. You can try it, okay? And they say this premise is simple. Okay, find 8 pages scattered around a spooky forest location without the Slender Man catching you. And every time you find a page, he gets closer and harder to avoid. So it's a simple idea, but the execution is flawless. And even when the potato graphics is happening, it's a terrifying experience, as they say. And it's also a great game to challenge your friends to play and see how they get. Well, that everybody try it out. You can search for Slender, the 8 pages. Anywhere you go and find the download, it is free, so enjoy. Alright, coming up next at number 3, the Outlast Trials.
Moving on to number 3, the Outlast Trials. Outlast is by far one of the most popular horror game series of the 21st century, making waves with its first release, being praised for its terrifying gameplay and charismatic villains. The first 2 games have you as an investigative journalist in some dark and murky parts of the United States. They're both first-person games and are known for being in the perspective of camera footage taken by each of the protagonists. This camera makes for the main gameplay feature of the game, with the player having to maintain the battery of the camera in order to use its night vision mode. Unlike the last 2 games on this list, the player has no way of defending themselves. Instead, stealth is the focus, as you try to avoid the deranged killers out to get you. The Outlast Trials, released in May, acts as a prequel to the rest of the Outlast series, taking place as a mysterious Cold War experiment. The survival horror title is the first in the series to feature multiplayer, allowing up to 4 players to join and try surviving together. And instead of using a camcorder like the previous protagonist of Outlast 1 and 2, players are wearing night vision goggles, trying to escape the nefarious experiments that are being administered on them. Players can pick one of 4 classes to play as, with each class having a unique ability, such as seeing through walls, healing other players, placing mines to deter their pursuers, and a throwing device to temporarily stun enemies. They can also pick up various items such as antipsychotic lockpicks, and healing items, but can only hold 3 at a time. With past titles focusing on the aspect of being alone and trying to survive, this game encourages teamwork and coming together as a common goal, making the horror a lot more bearable for those who hate to be alone. But trust me, the game is still terrifying. The only question is, can you guys outlast these trials together, or will you all die together? I guess you'll have to play the game to find out.
Alright, as we're talking about horror games, well, I've noticed that PS4 and the Xbox One via backwards compatibility, lots of these games that we are talking about are compatible with your PS4 and your Xbox One. So if you don't have these, sorry. I know a lot of people do these things with cracking and using their PC, but it's not the same. Anyways, guys, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to see what Aiden Hansen has at number 2. But just before that, we're going to talk about a few more horror games.
Slide 4.
Becky, don't lose your cool. Think of the quarter pounder. It will taste like sunshine on a rainy day. Oh, so make it a day, the quarter pound away. Da 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 da.
Welcome back, guys. Alright. Horror game. We got a Friday on Spring Day. Happy Spring Day. Y'all never wish me sus, man. Anyway, happy spring day, everybody. I know it's spring day and I'm wearing a polo neck. No. It's a little bit nippy. If you are indoors in Johannesburg, South Africa, it is cold inside the house, but then when you go outside, what a lovely day. Happy spring day, guys. Yeah. Alright, let's get back into it as we're talking about horror games now. There's a game called Fatal Frame 2, and it's called Fatal Frame 2 A Crimson Butterfly. So now, okay, the developer is Tecmo, right? And the platforms that you can use this on is PS4 and Xbox One via backwards compatibility. Now, picking up on the tropes of Japanese horror and folklore that were made famous in The Ring and the Ju-on and the Fatal Frame series has always been unsettling. Characters are frozen in place with fear. Their only weapon against soul-stealing ghosts is an ancient camera. Now, this means that the only way to fight your enemies is to face them head-on, an increasingly terrifying proposition as the game wears on. Now, the franchise has several great entries, but we choose to single out the second game as the best fit for this list. Now, Crimson Butterfly updates the graphics a bit from the first game, and it's the most inviting, and it's quite difficult, by the way. It makes it difficult, making sure that there's an ever-present threat without getting too frustrating. So it also has the best story, okay? The personal journey between two sisters dealing with loss and guilt, and it's always nice when the intense experience is backed up by a plot, so that's deeper than just surviving. So yeah, it's quite beautiful. It's got a nice story to it. I like a good story with gaming. Alright, as we got Aiden Hansen standing by for us, he's coming in at number 2 with Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Number 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake. Now, I may be a little biased, but the Resident Evil series is one of, if not the most iconic survival horror series of all time, dropping instant classics at every release, and RE4 Remake is no exception. Now, I'm not sure if you guys know, but the original Resident Evil 4 is one of the most influential video games of all time. The game revolutionized action games, and of course horror, with its iconic over-the-shoulder camera and action mechanics. Not only that, but it features loads of personality and style, with its snarky protagonist Leon Kennedy, a cop-turned-secret agent sent to a remote village in Spain to rescue the daughter of the President of the United States. Of course, this is where things go wrong when he finds out the village is plagued with these zombie-like villagers known as the Ganados, infected by a deadly parasite called Las Plagas. The remake follows the same plot, but features modern-day graphics and gameplay that look and feel as smooth as a baby's bottom. The remake retains the same over-the-shoulder camera as its predecessor, but has more modernized features to suit a modern audience. Famously, the original RE4 would force the player to stop moving so that they could aim, attack, and shoot. But in the remake, the player can move freely while doing this. This decision by the developers sparked controversy amongst longtime fans of the series, as it dulls some of the challenge brought by the original game. But to most, it was a welcome inclusion. Another big change was the exclusion of quick time events. An iconic part of the original game was its quick time events, that you would need some quick reaction times to press a designated button in order to dodge boulders, attacks, and even battle Leon's old army buddy, Krauser. While this was a relatively new concept when the original game came out, it became such a popular trope in video games that many gamers felt fatigued by it. So it was removed in the remake. Regardless of its changes, Resident Evil 4 Remake has quickly become another iconic title within the Resident Evil universe, and acts as a worthy rival to the game it's based on. Now you might be wondering, if Resident Evil 4 is such a great and terrifying game and it's at number 2, what could possibly be taking the number 1 spot?
Alright, I found a game called Mondone, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but if I'm not, forgive me for that. Alright, so this developer has, the developer is Hidden Fields, and the platforms used for this game is PS5, PS4, your PC, your Xbox Series X, your Xbox One, and your Switch. Alright, so let's look at Mondone now. Mondone is a weird, creepy little game with the lighthouse and the midsummer vibe to its strange hand-drawn tale, right? Now, the black and white first person scares you. See that you, revising your Swiss hometown after the death of your grandfather and uncovering while spooky voice comes in, and an ancient family curse also. So the Swiss in the 1920s-ish is basically the location folklore, and along with the scratchy penciled art, create an otherworldly vibe that gives the whole thing a foreign movie vibe. So you usually they say you usually only see it in Japanese horror games, but hey, here it is. It's a little clunky in places, okay, with a few unclear puzzles and goals which you have to get through, but worth powering through it if you want to try a horror game built from a different cultural foundation. Alright, and then everybody knows this one here. It's called Resident Evil Village, right? Now, the developer is Capcom, okay? The platforms you can use this on is your PS4, your PS5, your Xbox One, your Xbox Series X, and your PC. Yeah, so now while Resident Evil Village certainly captured the public imagination, Lady they call it Dimitrescu in particular, it's far from the best series that has ever been. So there are some strong moments though, especially in the opening few hours with Castle Dimitri, they call it, offering up some great gothic monster threats and characters. Now it's House Benevento, however, that cements this game's place in history. Now it's an incredible, creepy, rewarding escape room. It's a rewarding escape room beat that ends with one best reveals the series has ever seen, and it's a high point for the game, the series, and the genre in general. The rest of the game is good, but veers strongly into action and shooting, eroding the scares through familiarity and ending on a fairly low-brow shooting bang charge to victory kind of thing. So it's always fun though, and varied enough that you feel like you get a bit of everything. Coming in at number 1 with Aiden Hansen, a Dead Space remake.
Well, at number 1 is Dead Space Remake. Yes, another remake topping off this list, but it wouldn't be a top 5 horror game list without Dead Space. Another incredibly iconic horror classic, remade with some amazing graphics that will simply take your breath away. Dead Space, originally released in 2008, is a survival horror game that puts you in the shoes of systems engineer Isaac Clarke, as he joins a search and rescue team for the USH Ishimura, a spaceship that went radio silent after receiving a message from his girlfriend Nicole. When Isaac's ship crashes into the Ishimura, he's tasked with exploring the ship while fending off against demonic creatures called necromorphs and saving his girlfriend before they get to her. In order to fight these monsters, he uses modified mining tools and the special abilities of his spacesuit. The game was famous for its limb destruction features, originally introduced in Resident Evil 4, but taken to another level in this game where players could shoot certain limbs of the necromorphs in order to incapacitate them. His spacesuit is also capable of things like telekinesis, allowing him to move objects around and freeze them in place in order to face off against powerful enemies and solve difficult puzzles. The game's atmosphere is like no other, the dark hallways of the Ishimura beckoning like the abyss, with frightful demons waiting for you at every corner. Dead Space is pretty well known as one of the scariest horror games of all time, and the remake is no different. With a complete graphical upgrade, the game only gets scarier, and if you've played any game in the Dead Space series, you'd be able to tell pretty quickly why it's earned its number 1 spot on this list. But that's gonna be it for this video, you guys. Let me know in the comments what your favorite horror game is, and if you haven't played any, let me know which one on this list sounds the scariest. Don't forget to like and subscribe while you're at it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you so much, Aiden Hansen from America, for sharing your views and your top 5 terrifying 2023 horror games that you won't be able to put down. Alright, we got Chris James coming in on Facebook, and he says, good morning, Kimera. Good morning, Chris James. He says, good to be back watching the show. Welcome back, Mr. James. Alright, then we have Basil Wesley James. Hey, we have 2 Jameses on the show today. Good morning, family. Good morning, Uncle Basil. Alright, so you guys just missed the show. We just finished off the terrifying 2023 horror games. So if you are a gamer, go back and watch the show again. Yeah? Alright. Okay, so I want to talk about another game called Alan Wake. Now, the developer is Remedy Entertainment, and the platforms you can use this game on is your PS4, your PS5, your Xbox One, your Xbox Series X, your Nintendo Switch, as well as your PC. Yeah. Alright, so Alan Wake isn't like most horror games, if you want to know, okay? It doesn't trade in excessive gore or jump scares. In fact, it's not that scary on the whole, alright? But its sense of place and character is second to none. That place is Bright Falls, and they call it Twin Peaks inspired mountain community with a terrible secret. Okay, it works like this. So the dulcet tones of the night DJ rambling across the airwaves, and mixed with the like little vignettes you can catch on TV as well, and make this town feel alive, like a character unto itself. So its story unfolds like a thrilling TV miniseries kind of thing, and right down the episodic structure that bookends each plot twist and revelation. Now, Alan Wake further disguises itself by being a lot of fun to play, they say. And maybe that sounds a bit mean, but you'd be hard pressed to find more enjoyable horror games than Alan Wake from a pure gamely perspective. Now, developer Remedy is as famous for action and storytelling as well, and that comes to bear here as simple fluid controls do away with the stilted awkwardness that's characteristic of this genre. Now, taking on a group of enemies is challenging for all the right reasons. The encounters are well crafted, and the pistol plus flashlight combat combo is fun to use without you feeling invincible. Alright, as we just finish up the horror games, guys, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we got lots of entertainment waiting for you as it's Friday after this.
I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. Oh, because you're mine. Because you're mine.
Welcome back, you cracker daughters. Hello, for those of you who are a little bit late, hello, welcome. We know, we moving around the times due to our Lanesia South load shedding schedule. So, I got an idea. If you got the load shedding app on your cell phone, just type in Lanesia South and in brackets 9, that's where we located, and you know what times we will be broadcasting live. I'm so sorry, we can't have a set time with this load shedding in South Africa. My apologies. Forgive us. Alright, so welcome back. You're all streaming live with us in Lanesia South on Actonville TV. Yeah, baby. This is the Crocodile Show with myself, Kimera, Heeralal, as your host. Join the conversation as you can interact with us in studio today. Drop us a message. I love your message. Or, hey, Kimera, Heeralal, we don't like your show. You know, some kind of love. I want some interaction. You know, you gotta feel... communication is key. Yeah. Alright, so we are coming up with lots of entertainment for you guys. Just a quick one, guys. I just want to let you guys know that whoever has talent, if you're watching the show, you feel you've got talent, capture your talent with a cell phone, and you can drop us a message at the bottom of the screen asking us the procedure as to how to get your content on Actonville TV. It can be about anything, you know, any talents that you might have. Why not? Alright, so coming up on this beautiful Friday morning for you guys on Spring Day, Hollow. Now, as we were talking about gaming, right? So we've got Hollow. You know the Final Fantasy VII Remake? Yep. Today it's being covered by Crystal and Francis from Italy. They're doing it like orchestral style. Check it out.
dream? Will I never know? Foolish and blind to everything. Had realized, had I trod in truth, would you be here in my embrace? Shine bright once more, guide me to you. Smile bright once more. This time I will never let you go. With your smile, hiding something more, like mysteries lurking beneath. But I was consumed with this emptiness, this selfishness, this voice of fear. Hear me once more. Show me your smile. This time, for sure, I see the truth inside your face. But I know
Crystal and Francis from Italy doing an orchestral delivery of the it's called Final Fantasy VII Remake. Quite fun. For those of you who missed the show, please do click on the link again a little bit later and watch the show about gaming, baby. Yeah! Alright, so if you're all about gaming, and we just shared over all the great games in 2023 this year, so yeah, you can go search it, and I've shared with you the free games that you can download anywhere, and it's free and it's beautiful and you can conquer it. Alright, let's take a quick break. When we come back, lots of music entertainment keeping your Friday going straight after this.
The rich taste that says you've arrived. Uyingakar. Living a life of illusion. Leaving your finances on the rocks. In this world of Bazotina Bantu, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
Welcome back, you crocodiles. Alright, it's time. You know that part of the show where I just start throwing fun facts at you as we like educating on Atonable TV, yeah? Alright. So, did you know that in a group of 23 people, there is a 50% chance that two will share the same birthday? 50% chance. But hey, it's fun facts time. Alright, so did you know Will Ferrell consumed so much sugar while filming Elf, you know the movie, that he actually became physically ill, guys. And if you've seen the famous spaghetti scene, then you can probably understand why. If you didn't watch the movie, check it out. Alright, it may feel a lot longer in the moment, but the average person spends 2 weeks of their life sitting at just traffic lights. Fact. I gotta say, you know, staying in Johannesburg in South Africa, guys, the traffic here is so bad from deep south to south. Let's put it like that. I used to waste 2 hours of traffic in the morning to campus because I used to travel to Bramley, and then back in the afternoon another 2 hours. So that's 4 hours a day of my life gone. What you gonna do, huh? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next from Mr. Bean's movie called The Holiday. Everybody knows that movie, right? Okay, so let's look at the next delivery for us today. The song Crash the Primitives, covered by Miley from the United Kingdom. Check it out. United Kingdom, baby! Only 14 years old. What a beautiful track and beautiful delivery. Thank you so much. Love the guitars, girl. Alright. As you know, it's Friday. We got a nice, a fully well-played song for you guys coming up next. It's over 8 minutes. But before we get to it, a little bit more of Did You Know? Alright, the Hollywood sign. Did you know? The Hollywood sign in Los Angeles once said Hollywood Land. But this was changed in 1949. Alright, going back to back with great music this morning. We've got pop and R&B medley mixed up for you. And today it's being delivered and covered by two unique from Chats with David. Check it out.
We were good, we were gold, kinda dream that can be sold. We were right till we weren't. Built a home and watched it burn. I didn't wanna leave, I didn't wanna lie. Started to cry, then remembered I can buy myself flowers, write my name on the sand, talk to myself for hours, say things you don't understand. I can take myself dancing, I can hold my own hand, yeah, I can love me better than you can. Can love you better, I can love you better, baby. Can love me better, oh, can love me better, baby. Woo! Hey now, ladies, let me sing this one for you. It's bad girl o'clock, yeah. It's 6:30. Oh, yeah. I've been through a lot, but I'm still hey, is anybody back up in the building? It's been a minute, tell me how you're healing. Cause I'm about to get up in my feelings, that's how I feel right now. Oh, I've been so down and under pressure, baby. I'm way too far to beat the stress out. Oh, I'm not the girl I was so used to be. Yeah. Girl, I might be better. Turn up the music, turn down the lights. I've got a feeling I'm gonna be alright. Okay, alright. It's about damn time. Turn up the music. Say what now? Let's celebrate. I've got a feeling I'm gonna be okay. Alright. It's about damn time.
Daylight, can't get away from the flashing light. She wanna run and chase that high. Love at the party, she be the death of me. I told you you're the love of my life. I won't stop till you're the love of my life. I won't stop till you're the love that I'm taking home. What I'm waiting for. All she wanna do is, all she wanna do is, all she wanna do is dance. All I wanna do is get up on her. Got me in the palm of her hand. All I wanna touch is her number. Feels like I've been waiting for forever and tonight to get this chance.
All she wanna do is, all she wanna do is
Dance. Wanna dance, 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 dance. Wanna dance, 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 dance. Wanna dance, dance, dance.
all she wanna do it, all she wanna do it. Now I'm out dancing with strangers. You could be casually dating. Damn, it's all changing so fast. I said la vida, see. Yeah, that's just life, baby. Your love came around and it knocked me down, but I'm back on my feet. I said la vida, see. Yeah, that's just life, baby. Yeah. I was barely standing, but now I'm dancing. It's all over me.
Biddy bum 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 bum. Biddy bum 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 bum. Biddy bum 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 bum. Biddy bum 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 bum. Biddy bum 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 bum. It's been a hell of a year, think I made it now. Yeah, we were riding away, trying not to drown. And on the surface I held it together, but underneath the soil came around. Where would I be? Oh, my baby, you got me down. You know you got me down.
Breaker and broken, space is a moment.
Couldn't take anything back.
I said la vida, see. Yeah, that's just life, baby. Your love came around and it knocked me down, but I'm back on my feet.
I said la vida, see. Yeah, that's just life.
to get it from. Too unique is in the spot tonight. I'ma make you feel alright. Come on, baby, just party with me. Let loose and set your body free. Leave your situations at the door. So when you step inside, you're on the floor. Let's get it. We got your hope and now floating, so you got to dance. We don't need no hateration. Let's get it percolating while you're waiting. So that cheat could be your fantasy. I can tell you got big energy. There ain't too many y'all that can handle me, but I might let you try it up the Hennessy. Make 'em sing to this like a melody. And if your girl ain't right, I got the remedy. There ain't too many y'all that can handle me. Say bad cheat, I could be your fantasy. Every night, talking sweet and looking fine. I get kind of hectic inside. Baby, I'm so into you. Darling, if you only knew all the things that flow through my mind. Hey, heaven with my boyfriend, my loving boyfriend. There's no beginning and there is no end. Oh, feels like I'm dreaming, but I'm not sleeping. Yeah, sweet fantasy. Hey. Say what? Say what? It's a simple sign when things go wrong. Cinderella linger, temptation strong. Cold, cold heart, I'm done by you. Some days getting better, baby. Passing you. Well, I think it's gonna be a long, long time. The touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at all. Oh, no, no, no. And this is what I should have said. Well, I thought I cared.
Coco Han. Oh, I turn my. Okay. I never ever liked the remake of that song, but today I gotta give it to Too Unique from Chatsworth. What a beautiful delivery. Shout out to Kuben. I gotta say, I found out your name, boy. Very talented young man. I must say, you were a drummer, you were a keyboardist, you were a DJ, you're a singer. You're a band, baby. Oh, but you're a one-man band, Kuben. Beautiful delivery, guys. I must say, a very big wow to the lady of Too Unique. You can carry a Mariah Carey track with ease, girl. You are talented. Woo! Alright, my own personal favorite stand-up comedian coming up next. I hope it's yours too. Auntie Sheila. Auntie Sheila is talking about sister-in-laws. It's my wedding, not yours. Check it out.
Wonderful darlings, it's Auntie Sheila again. Hey, Nasi, I got one story to tell you, alright? So anyway, other day I went to my brother's house, right? Because you know what? My niece is getting married, right? So anyway, I went in the room and I'm looking at this girl and I'm saying, you, what you looking so sad, darling? What's wrong, right? You must tell me, isn't it? I don't like when the children, sit like moon babies in the room. Anyway, she telling me, she showed me a wedding sari. Then I said, oh, so lovely, darling, so nice, but don't you think you must add a little bit more bling? That thing is a bit plain. I mean, I wouldn't even use it to go to someone's engagement, let alone get married in that. But I kept, sometimes can't say too much. You rather shut it and keep your ass shut and sit down quietly, otherwise you'll cause problems, right? Anyway, she telling me, apparently the way the sister-in-law doing it, boy's sister. Apparently, she went and bought a bridal outfit too. Over and above that, bought the same color yet my niece told her, I'm using this kind of color, I'm using series. She went and bought series. Apparently, she always liked Barbie doll, so she too want to look like one Barbie doll. I said to my niece, I said, hey, you better teach this one a nice lesson. You cut it, nip it by the bud. I said, literally take the scissors and nip it, cut it up, cut that out for you. Gave her order. You told her, I'm using series. What brains she got her? She got her brains in what way? Her brains is in her ass. What? You know what, darling? That's that thing. And sister-in-laws, boys, sisters, don't act like a fool, right? You mustn't try and cause problem at this stage, because let me tell you something. Oh, your brother's wife will lie, he will lie. If your brother's wife hates someone, he too will hate someone. I know how this plays out, darling. So you know what? Play your cards right? You're not the bride, darling. What your ass is biting for? You're not the bride. You keep it in your panties, darling. You keep it in your pants. You keep your bling for your wedding. Oh, if you had your wedding, you had it. It's finished. It's gone. Finished. You can't do it now. You can't be the second bride now, right? You just the sister. Nobody cares about you, right? They only care about the bride. But now, let me say, there's two sides to a coin. What about the bride? You must take the onus upon yourself, darling. If you want to look like a plain Jane and dress up like, you know what, it's not your wedding, it's not my problem. At the end of the day, darling, when my sister-in-law got married, I said, see, Anila, I like my jewels, I like my blings. Even if I'm going grocery store, I do myself up and go. That's the kind of woman. I'm not going to change myself. And at the end of the day, especially if it's my brother's wedding, I must look good. Hey, you know something, darling? One thing, hey, you think this chain will suit me? Think this chain will look nice on me? Yeah, I like way like this in the wedding. At the end of the day, darling, one thing I like Uncle's family, oh, the way, the roti people can wash up. The bride can never miss her. She comes blinging. Kadavle, like the whole galaxy. It's like she fell in on Swarovski. And the top of Swarovski, she got Swarovski. She got Swarovski there. I don't know where else she put Swarovski. But that's so nice, because bride must look like the bride. So to the sister-in-law, hey, don't think you're the bride. Shut your ass and dress appropriately. And to the bride, you too, wake your ass up and look like the bride. Don't look like one plain Jane and then fight with all of us. It's a nice occasion. We all want to look nice. Okay, darling? Vanakkam.
Vanakkam, Auntie Sheila. Vanakkam. Okay, that was Auntie Sheila, everybody, talking about your sister-in-laws, and yeah, it's my wedding day, not yours. Anyway, that's all the time we have for today, folks. From myself, Kimera, Heeralal, have a blessed weekend. Happy spring day, everybody. It's gonna get hot after this, so get your summer dresses out, guys. Get your shorts out and your sandals, and I can put my beach tongs on. Oh, I must go paint my toes and everything. How do you paint my hands during the entire winter as I left my toes bland? No one can see it because I've got my socks on. You know what I'm saying? Now it's that time of the year where you can wear your beach tongs and you can put your girls, you can paint your nails, you can shave your legs. A lot of girls don't shave their legs and they walk around. Woo! Yes! But anyway, look at me turning into Auntie Sheila. It's weekend, baby. We'll do this again on Monday, same time, same place, hopefully same time. Okay, we don't know yet. Just check out the Lenasia South load trading schedule and you'll know what time we're going live. But our producer Andy Poonen makes posters to advertise for us. So yeah, we'll do this again on Monday, guys. Stay safe, be blessed wherever you might be. Happy weekend, baby. Happy September. Happy spring day. Bye, guys.